love that.
Insurance, should I right here? This year.
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell everyone that Tiffany had to go on a call, an ambulance call.
Oh.
So she's ending, they ran out of vehicles.
She didn't have anything on me. I don't think so. Let me just report.
All right, everyone, good evening. Call to order at Chisholm City Council meeting, June 10th, 2026, 5:30 PM. Susan, would you please take roll call?
Counselor Varga,
Here.
Counselor Fountain,
Here.
Counselor Bachman,
Here.
Counselor Halaba,
Present.
Counselor Halverson,
Present.
Mayor Lamb.
Here. Hey, Council, I'd look for a motion and support to adopt the agenda. We have the addition of the language for our building officials ordinance change. We have an addition under Colin Luke for our Trails Park and Rec Director for would be D4, 5, and 6. And we have a revised quote that was just handed to us for the purchase of library computers under Katie. So with those additions, I would look for a motion and support.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Pledge of allegiance, if you would.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jim, is there any public participation over there?
There is none. Paper?
Nope. Start with council reports. Start with you, Councilor Varda. Good evening.
Good evening. Just a short report. I attended the fire meeting and they had 19 calls last month. And just a quick note to say good luck to all the people running for council in this midterm election. The ones that win, well, good luck to you too. That's it.
Thank you. Councilor Fountain, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. I've got a couple things here. First of all, I want to move this mic up so everybody at home can hear me. All right. First of all, I want to give a shout out to our library director, Katie Christensen. I want to thank you for your incredible leadership and support to our community that you've given over the past 12 years. Your legacy here will definitely remain on the Chisholm Public Library shelves forever. I'd like to highlight some of the many accomplishments from the last 12 years of your service that you have blessed our community with. Number one, you have increased our circulation in the past 12 years up by 30%, and that is an amazing. That is amazing. I just want to say that. You led the creation of the community mural and created a community paint by number event where over 200 residents helped paint the new community mural and bring it to life. Thank you for that. You created the annual Bringing Light to Chisholm event. You built partnerships with local businesses, volunteers, and community organizations to string lights and bring community and light to our downtown during the darkest nights of the year. Thank you. You wrote grants and secured more than $500,000 in funding for community and library improvements and managed different projects, including our new roof that we got, the tuck point and building preservation work, the new circulation desk, the LED lighting upgrades, the new accessibility entrance ramp, and flood recovery and repairs after the basement damage. Thank you. While the project's numbers hold significance, perhaps the greatest contribution was helping create a stronger sense of community and making the library a welcoming, inclusive space for everyone. Thank you so much. We'll sincerely miss you. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Baki, good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, just a couple of things.
First of all, again, like Councilor Varda said, congratulations. Thank you to those who signed up to run for the elections and the positions. You know, it's not an easy thing to do, and so I commend everyone who threw their name in the hat for those. Obviously, you know, good luck to everyone who signed up, and I think we're gonna be in fine shape no matter who comes out of those. So, good luck to everybody, in your campaigns, and, you know, hold each other accountable, make sure that the city council meetings are for city business, and we don't shy away from that. And yeah, a couple of other notes, chamber, I had a chamber meeting this morning, and the member appreciation night for the chamber is next Tuesday, the 16th. That's where we will also hold the summer raffle that the chamber still has tickets for if you did not get a chamber raffle ticket. The last thing I'll mention is just that reminder that we have the Blue Streak Scramble, and that is coming up on June 26th with a 1 o'clock start in Evelyn. That's what I got.
Thanks, Travis. Councilor Oliver, good evening.
Good evening. I was able to speak at the Museum of Mining, welcome the Girl Scouts to the Saturday morning. I went to the last EDA meeting, and also our Lake Street Market is this Tuesday, our first event. There'll be a chamber drawing as well, so it should be well attended. We have lots of vendors, lots of food, and lots of stuff happening that night, so hope everybody can make it down there.
I appreciate you making it down there for me. Thank you.
No problem.
Councilor Halverson, good evening.
Good evening. I wasn't aware of Katie leaving, but now I am, and thank you for everything. You've been a real blessing, everything you've done here in the community. Thank you, and best wishes. Other than that, I attended a pre-construction meeting with the Redhead Trail Builders for the Chisholm Connector Trail, and was also volunteering out there on the 31st for the mountain bike race at Redhead.
Thank you.
That's all.
Echo the sentiments. I meant what I said. You're a foundation to this community, and it's a big loss. Good luck to everything.
Thanks, Katie. We appreciate your work, hard work.
Police Chief, Jim, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Just a quick update on our department. Our 2 new officers are continuing their field training. They're doing very well. So we're excited for them to finish here, one in the next month and then one the month after that. So our CSO has been hired and is hit the ground running. He's doing very well, so you'll see him out in the community. His sole responsibility is blight and some parking issues, but we're focusing more on blight and long grass. So it's a process, and of course we cover the city of Buell as well. So Buell residents will also see him over there doing that business as well. So end of the month here, we're gearing up for Buell's 125th events. So the last 2 Saturday or Friday, Saturday of this month, we'll have our whole, pretty much entire department working for their street dances and all their festivities. Friday, Saturday, they have a parade, Saturday, and fireworks even on Sunday. So be sure to partake in their events if you're able to. It sounds like it's gonna be a great time. And then just recently, last week, the police commission, we held sergeant interviews for our sergeant position. The police commission decided to offer the sergeant position to 2 officers. So congratulations to Sergeant Kersti and Sergeant Novins for their well-deserved promotion into sergeant. So we're excited to see their growth and their capabilities shine through here in the future. So and that's all I got. So I have nothing on the agenda, so if you have any questions, I definitely can answer.
I do, since you're one of the, we're the only emergency personnel here this evening,
Sure.
so I did have a few people reach out recently saying that they've seen a lot of activity.
Sure.
Police, fire, and ambulance, you know,
Sure.
all of our communities have been very busy,
they
good
have.
and bad. I wanted to say thank you to your staff. I know that they were called for mutual aid over in Hibbing the other day, and we didn't have the services on the police force to do it, and they, had advised them to call the fire department to assist. And with that too, we also had, two simultaneous mutual aid calls over to, Hibbing also with our ambulance. It's hard enough to staff a second rig in town, but we were able to help out our mutual aid partners and return the favor that they bring to us. And so I wanna thank you for everything that you guys are doing over there, and
Really appreciate that.
yeah,
For being able to do it without my team, so, it's been busy.
they're doing good work.
So thank you, appreciate that. Any other questions? Very good.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
City Engineer, Jim, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Ellie, if you want to join us as well. Matt Tribby, I should say, from Bite, who's the contractor on our Wenton addition and was not able to make it. But Ellie, I asked Ellie if she would give you an update on that and the alley reconditioning project, please.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. On the Chisholm Wenton Addition project, we had a construction meeting yesterday. They are almost done putting the sanitary sewer in, about halfway through the water, and they're starting on the storm as well. So by the end of the month, we should have the underground utilities in, and they'll start doing the road work there. We do have a couple compaction tests that we need to look at, and we're working with Braun on coming up with some resolutions for those, just with the higher water levels that we're seeing in those particular areas. But we met with them yesterday as well, and they're giving us a recommendation on how to proceed there. The alleys project, they started paving today. I think they have 7 alleys remaining, which they should finish up tomorrow and or Friday, and then I believe Friday they'll hit 5th Street, and probably from there the ice arena. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then, so, thank you, Ellie. She covered the Wenton addition, our alley reconditioning, 5th Street and the ice arena. And then our other project is the Heritage Manor area of 6th Street, 4th Avenue Northeast. And the contractor is moving in his traffic control and materials and so forth. So we're anticipating them starting possibly yet this week, but more likely probably early next week once we get past, hopefully, the wet and rainy weather. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Jim. Public Works, Larry?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Just a couple honorable mentions. It's our second full week with all the seasonals, and we took about 20 this year. The requests are coming in, keep those coming in. We're just getting caught up. Weather's slowing us down a little bit, but we got our first cut down, and it looked a little choppy and a little messy, but it was thick. Record spring in my career of 8 years, how dry it was and how everything just bloomed and just came up nicely. So it's looking beautiful. So stay with us and feel free to make those requests. If we miss something, reach out. We're gonna start working on some, I was just reading some emails on some tax forfeit properties and stuff. If we can help in a neighborhood, what we've done in the past is, some of the neighbors have said, we're willing to keep this up. It helps with the mice, it keeps the bugs down, it keeps our neighborhood looking nice. If city can come in and help us just get it under control, and then maybe we can, and the neighborhood can maintain it. We've had real good success doing that, so reach out to me if that's something we can help with. And I know the council has always supported that in the past. We kind of started doing that during the all-class reunion about 5 years ago, and 4 years ago, and worked really well. And the neighborhoods, generally speaking, they want, their neighborhoods to look nice, so we're able to help that first time around, especially with the summer staff. So you can make some requests, and we'll try to help where we can with that. We are starting a new storm, we are starting the storm water Northwest project. It was supposed to start today. I'm glad they didn't come today because they would have been on our storm sewers, exploring our system for failures and choke points and stuff like that. So it's raining pretty aggressively as we speak. So that would have been, he would have been in the lake. So anyway, so we're starting that. That'll be next week now. We continue to work through the hiring process and retirements in public works. And we have some of that related in the minutes tonight. And then, the graduation banners. We're planning to take them down around to the end of the month, somewhere around, maybe right before 4th of July, going into that big weekend as we move towards Chisholm celebrations and stuff. So I think Councilor Vodke agreed to take them and kind of disperse. Was that what we're going to do, Travis?
Yep.
All right, appreciate that. So with that, just a few things in the agenda.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Larry.
Thank you.
Parks, Trails, Rec Director, Colin, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a quick gratitude, appreciation for everyone that supported the Trailhead grand opening for Redhead and helped out with it. We had a really awesome turnout. Nothing went wrong in event throwing in the past. There's always usually one or two things that go off, and it went without a hitch. So a lot of fun, good turnout. We had tons of kids on the pump track and skills course enjoying it. And when I just drove up there this afternoon, there was a couple families out there as well. So people seem to be liking it.
Excellent.
And then a couple other things. We're wrapping up an awesome soccer season. As I mentioned in previous meetings, we keep having increased numbers in that sport. So that's a sport for rec that is trending upwards. And volleyball just started, and we had 23 teams this year, and that's also trending upwards too. So it's getting hard to keep it on one night with 23 teams and 4 courts. So maybe something to figure out for the future. So that's about it.
Well, you did a very good job with the ribbon cutting. Thank you very much. You know, and I know everybody appreciates it. It's fantastic up there.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Colin.
Library Supervisor, Katie.
Great. Good evening, everyone. Summer is here. June is usually our busiest month out of the year. Today we had 145 people in the library, and that was just an average Wednesday in the summertime. So we are on week 2 of our summer reading program, and the theme this year is our region-wide is Plant a Seed and Read. And as of today, we have 196 kids signed up. Tomorrow we have an ALS Legacy program. The title of the program is called Jolly Pops, and it's a trio of dads with their puppet friends performing a high-energy concert. So it's 45 minutes long and suited for children of all ages, and the program is funded in part or whole by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. And then the following week on Wednesday at 10 a.m. we have Creature Connections, which will be a live reptile experience where kids get to meet lizards and snakes and turtles and more. So we anticipate a pretty high attendance rate for that one as well. Also, as you all know, with very mixed emotions, I've submitted my letter of resignation from my position as the library supervisor, as I have accepted a new position. I would just like to express my sincere gratitude and the opportunity to serve the city of Chisholm. It has been a privilege to work in and be part of this community. And I'm just really thankful for the relationships and the experiences and the opportunities that I've had here that's made my time very meaningful and very rewarding. And as I transition out of this role, I'm committed to doing everything possible to ensure a smooth and successful transition. The staff down at the library are wonderful, and I think everything will go without a hitch. So, also, I just wanted to remind everybody that Friday the 26th is the Community Day of Action with United Way. It's a pretty big deal for Chisholm. I will be a part of that event, volunteering that day. That'll actually be my last day. So please reach out to United Way to sign up if that's something you want to be a part of and volunteer at. And yeah, just thank you again for the trust and the opportunity to be your librarian. And I really enjoyed working with you all. So thank you. Chisholm will always hold a huge place in my heart.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katie.
City Attorney, Counselor Lindsay, good evening.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. No formal report, but I am happy to field questions if there are any from the council.
City Clerk, Treasurer, Administrator.
Good evening, no formal report.
Okay. So we move on to a consent agenda. Council, I look for a motion to approve. Consists of a list of bills, minutes of previous city council meeting, resignation from the Chisholm Library.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Second.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, council, moving on, new business. First thing we have here, is from Mandy. She had something come up at the last minute, was not able to make it here this evening. I'll walk you through the best I can. I know the majority of this came through, working with our consultant, who also did some, Brian had some input as far as, Mountain Iron has a couple of these additions where they work into. I think the majority of this starts out for the text Amendment change is to add a new district, which would be R3, to build off of R1 and R2. And then as you go on into pages 2, 3, 4, and 5, it kind of just outlines the permitted uses, you know, what should be happening with these, what do we want. You know, I believe a lot of this came from the discussion over the last 4 years working with Wetton Addition of what we want to see there. Obviously, there's not much that we can control, but the certain outlook and aspect of this new development, we want to kind of create some continuity, you know, if that's the way to say it. So I apologize that nobody had the chance to see it, but we did not have a quorum on our first meeting in June, so this went for a public hearing on Monday, so it was inappropriate to put in the packet before then. This would be the first reading this evening if approved, and then the second reading would be our first meeting in July, and then it would become ordinance after that.
So we're looking at two separate motions, is that right? Or just overall approving it as one?
So at this point, the council can just acknowledge the first reading if the council prefers, or if it's the wish of the council. There could be a motion made just to recognize the first reading, but there's no formal action that's required at this stage.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think historically, we've always had a motion in support for the first reading, but
I'll make the motion for support for the first reading.
I'll support it.
okay. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Jim. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Jim, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council again. If you'll turn to page, actually page 8, if you would. And we have pay application number 2 for work accomplished during May in the Wenton edition. And if you look at the second to last set of columns, you'll see this payment at the top with the quantity and the amount, which is the work that was accomplished during May. And then in the last set of columns is the work to date, which includes everything to date, which is basically April and May. And you see for May, the major items involve an additional partial payment on mobilization, but primarily then it's work on the sanitary sewer, water mains, a little bit of storm sewer, and of course we've got boulder excavation in there as well. That's very significant on this project. So as you go down through the base bid, you'll see the work accomplished on the base bid during May amounted to just under $412,000. Change order number 1 involved that change from ductile iron pipe to high-density polyethylene pipe, and that pipe installation. I gotta get out my bifocals again. It's too fat.
No doubt.
What is it, $86,300?
Yeah,
And then-
86,305.
Thank you, Travis. And then change order number 2, which we approved at the last meeting for the rock stabilization, amounting to just under $18,000. Such that the total work accomplished during the month amounted to $515,933.50. As you go over to the last column for the total completed to date, you'll see that that's $780,725.40. And just continuing down then, we retain 5% retainage. So the amount eligible for payment amounts to $741,689.13. Thank you. And less the previous payment of $251,552.30. Such that the amount due this application totals $490,136.83. With that, I would be happy to try and answer any questions that you might have, but would recommend payment in that amount. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any questions for Jim? None. I look for a motion and support to approve pay application number 2.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And then if you'll turn over to page 10, and in the following pages of 11 through 17, I believe, through 17, What we have is the cooperative agreement with St. Louis County for the intersection improvements and retaining wall that they're doing in cooperation with the city on our Heritage Manor area project. And I've asked Brian to review it. It looks to be in good shape, in my estimation. The significant points, if you turn to page 14, basically what's happening is that we're going to be utilizing the same engineering firm, SEH LA, as well as Braun Intertech, to provide services to both the city and to the county on this project. And basically, we'll just prorate the cost for their services. So the cost of providing the intersection improvements and that retaining wall will be St. Louis's county cost of the project. The utilities and the other street improvements will be the city's portion of the cost. If you look at item number 15, the items of mobilization, traffic control, and erosion control are to be spread proportionally to both parties as well. So, then when you go to items 18 and 19, a good portion of this is just as we pay them 95% when we enter into cooperative agreements with them for crack sealing, seal coating, and so forth. They will upfront 95% of that construction cost to us immediately upon our invoicing them, which Devin and I will proceed here probably next week on that. So with that, I would be happy to try and answer any questions that you might have. Brian, was there anything that you found out of order that needs to be addressed?
Mayor, if I may?
Please.
Nope, I have reviewed the contract. From a legal perspective, I don't think it exposes the city to any unreasonable risk.
So with that, I would recommend your approval of this cooperative agreement between St. Louis County and the city of Chisholm for this Heritage Manor area improvement project.
Thank you, Jim. Yes.
I have a question. All right, when I was reading through there, it doesn't, how much will be allocated from Chisholm for these improvements? And from which funds? There was no, I didn't see anything that stated how much money we were gonna put towards it.
Basically, this project is being funded, I think primarily on the city side, out of grant funds through the Public Facilities Administration, as well as a $600,000 or $400,000 from IRRB.
I think it's
I think it's $600,000 on this project.
It's in our, in our budget, in that 400 fund. I can see if I have it here.
And the county is paying it out of their funds. I would imagine they're probably using some county state aid funds for improvements along County 67.
It was like number 5, number 6, number 7. It just basically says that Chisholm is gonna be, has to pay their share, basically, so.
Right, and that
I
will
was
be
just kinda
based
like,
on the bid. As the project was bid, the city's portions were separated from those of the county in separate bid schedules. The only item that is of common was what I mentioned in item 15 in terms of mobilization, traffic control, and erosion control. And based on if the county had 500,000 and we've got $1.5 million, they'll have 25% of those costs allocated to them. We have the other 75%. So it's just on a prorated basis of what the actual cost. Right now, we'll base that proration based on the bids. When we get to the project or end of the project with that last 5%, that's where we'll do the final accounting. If we owe them some money back or to retain the remaining 5% or whatever that amount is, will be adjusted at that point. The good portion is that we can help our financial cash flow by invoicing them 95% of that construction cost right now.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
I have a question or two.
Sure.
I remember talking about retaining wall, but I can't remember where it's gonna go. The retaining wall?
Right there, as you go westbound on 6th Street down to Lake Drive, right by Heritage Manor.
Okay.
As you look to the left or look to the south, they, when they put in their new addition and parking lot, if you look along that embankment, there's kind of a rock slope coming down, and that's encroaching into the site distance.
Oh, okay.
Along there, and that's where, in doing this project with SEH and the design, the county hired SEH to do their design as well. We identified the site distance, as long as they were using state aid money, they wanted to try and improve that to come as close to the standard as they can. Because of the vertical alignment of the road and so forth, we can't get quite as far as we'd like to, but it's improving it by about 150 feet, something like that, Ellie, in terms of the site distance. So they're cutting back that rock slope embankment and putting in a series of, it's 2 retaining walls, isn't it, at different levels, Ellie, or is it one? I think it's 2 different elevations from what I didn't look at their design.
Okay.
Let's have to look at the plans. but-
Anyway, it's a retaining wall just to improve that site distance as you look to the south-southwest at that intersection.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, council, unless there's any other questions, I'd look for a motion support to enter into the cooperative agreement with St. Louis County for
Motion.
SAS 67.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Public Works Supervisor Larry.
All right. We're to the point finally, we are assigning with your support a hiring committee for the lead cemetery building parks maintenance person. So with that, Mandy and Chief Fouquet gracefully volunteered. Devin's super busy, staff is getting shorter. So with that, I appreciate that very much. And with your support, I'd like to assign Mandy, myself, and Chief Fouquet to the hiring committee for that position.
Okay. Council, if I can get a support, or a motion and support.
Make a motion?
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, and just for reference, hopefully the next meeting in July, we will appoint, hopefully a person, so. We're gonna move as aggressively as we can. Winter's coming, we need our staff here. All right, with that, thank you, and then, ask for your support to deem a 1990 John Deere backhoe that's in disrepair. It is a spare machine after the purchase of the excavator, which comes supported, and thank you very much. Excavator's proven itself in the first year to be worth every penny we paid for it. So with that, we'd like to release this one out of our fleet with resolution number 0626-50. And we would just go with the normal 2-bit out of fuel. They've done pretty well for us in the past.
All right, council, look for a motion and support.
Motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Support.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion?
I just have something to tell Larry.
Sure.
I don't even remember that backhoe.
I know, yeah.
That's how long it's been since I've
It's in
seen
the
it.
back corner. It's good to have if you need it. Other than that, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. If you could talk to me about the county lots
Yeah,
or the cemetery sometime after the meeting.
sure. You
Put
bet.
that in the back, I
Yeah.
forget, so.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Alright, Parks Trails Rec Director, Colin.
Hello again, council. Please ask you to turn to page 21 for me. I'm asking for approval to pay invoice number 3954 in the amount of $43,750. This is for the construction of the Longyear Lake Kitty Pump Track. It's funded by the IRRB grant, the connectivity one, for $175,000. This second installment is 25% of the total contract, and it's due after the design process being finished. Included in the packet is the design and the details of the first phase that we're looking at right now, and the potential second phase that would come along with it. I recommend approval for payment of invoice number 3954 in the amount of $43,750.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, 175,000, you gotta be realistic, and it's not huge. First, you know, the first phase isn't huge, but I think the overall, you know, when you combine phase 2 with it, it's gonna turn into a nice skate park / kiddie pump track.
Excellent. All right, council, I'll look for a motion and support to approve invoice 3954.
Motion.
Thank you, Jed.
A second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And then next, will you turn to page 32? Attached, you'll find the change order number 1 from Eric Carlson for the LCCMR construction manager contract. Eric was unable to fulfill the full $65,000 of his contract, and he wants to use those funds and add that to Fine Line's contract as they were requested to do some additional work. I recommend approval of change order number 1 to be reduced from $65,000 to $55,000 for Eric Carlson's LCCMR construction manager contract.
Council, if there's any questions? If not, I'd look for a motion support.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Thank you, April. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, if you would turn to page 34, attached you'll find the change order to contract number 1 from Fine Line for an additional $10,000, making their total contract from $85,000 to $95,000. Fine Line did additional work performed at the trail intersections for the connection to Tough Mama. This contract and change order is funded by the IRRB and LCCMR grants of $1 million and $1.66 million, and I recommend approval of change order number 1 to increase the contract from $85,000 to $95,000.
Motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Next up for me is the change order number 2 for Bar Engineering. Attached, please find the change order number 2 contract from Bar Engineering for an additional $3,578. This makes their total contract worth $123,478. Bar performed additional design and construction administration services for the trailhead. That included coordination, review, on and off site meetings to review the final American ramp, that pump track and skills course that we love so much already. Corrective work and final trailhead punch list items to achieve final completion here in 2026. This contract and change order is funded by the IRRB and LCCMR grants, and I recommend approval of change order number 2 in the amount of $3,578.
Council, unless there's any questions, I'd look for a motion and support.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, next up for me, please see the attached bids for the above reference for the Longyear Lake Park improvements. We opened these on Wednesday, May 20th, 2026 at 11:30 a.m. with the intent to offer it to the lowest bidder at the May 27th, 2026 council meeting. We ended up tabling that for this meeting here today. The project consists of the 6 pickleball courts, the basketball court, and the parallel parking. Attached is still the same document from last time, the bid tabulation and from SEH, and for the determination of determining KGM as the lowest bidder at $546,944.85. SEH recommends award of the project to KGM Contracts as shown in their attached recommendation letter. So what we ended up doing was since the last meeting, we went through each item and tried to pick out things that would make the most sense to reduce the cost and get closer to our budget. Some of the items that we ended up removing are, instead of having sodding, we're now doing seeding. And this will all be detailed on the next agenda item that I have. We were removing the conduit, as we have no plans for lighting currently at those courts right now. That would be something that we could always add on down the road. And then shrinking the basketball court from NBA size to high school size. And then cutting out the basketball fencing entirely. So obviously one of the items that we looked at last time that was way above what we estimated was the fencing. So for the time being, we thought that these changes would make it necessary, and therefore we decreased the cost. So from $546,944.85, we decreased it down to $495,173.
Okay, hey, council, let's, take a step back real quick and, look at resolution 026-53 for award of contract for one-year lake pickleball parks to KGM, the lowest bidder.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Further discussion?
I have a question. For the basketball fans,
Mm-hmm.
are we considering safety if the kids are playing basketball, they run out to the road to get it if somebody throws the ball or shoots it wrong or whatever?
That's a good thought too, and then we also thought just in terms of by the lakeside too, doing some sort of, fencing, from more of the city budget. Not, because originally it was gonna be, I think, 10 feet high on the spec, and so yes, we're looking at having some sort of alternative fencing that we can add on from the city's budget, rather than having this come out of the project budget.
All right, thank you.
All those in favor of resolution 026-53?
Aye.
KGM? Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, last but not least, attached you'll find the change order number 1 for KGM Contractors to decrease the original contract amount from $546,944.85 to $495,173 for a savings of $51,771.85. This project is funded by the $493,000 of secured funding that we've gotten through various grants. The project does have $58,900 allocated to SEH, and I recommend approval of change order number 1 for a total amount of $495,173.
Hey, council, unless there's any questions?
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Support.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion?
Just remind me, Colin.
Yeah.
So, the basketball court would be closest to the road. It's not, I know at one point it was on the side, but I think it got moved. So it would be the first thing from the road.
Yes, correct, but the pickleball courts are in this, just north of the trail.
Right.
Just as close to the road as well.
Okay.
So, the original plan was to have the pickleball courts, and then right next to it on the right was going to be the basketball court facing north.
Yeah.
And then we had to, because of the storm pipe that we discovered underneath there, we shifted that south of the trail. Now it's perpendicular to the pickleball courts.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine, and I think shrinking it to a high school size is more than fine.
Right.
I would agree. I would make sure we have at least some kind of temporary barrier, cause that ball's gonna go in the road all the time. If they're-
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yep, and I mean, I've already reached out to Iron Oaks Fencing, and, we're looking at options already for that. Because, yeah, I mean, just for the simple fact of bouncing a ball off the rim and how annoying that would have to be if it goes in the lake or,
Right,
like you
right.
said, on the road.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
okay, very good.
Mhm.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Awesome, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Library supervisor, Katie.
Hello again. So thank you for accepting the revised quote tonight. The quote has been provided by Roger. He is our tech support for the city. Regarding the computers at the library, they are currently 8 years old and they have reached their end of life. They're currently operating on an outdated system that's not even supported by Microsoft anymore, so we are at a point where we need new computers. So the difference between the two quotes, the one that was originally provided came in at $25,826. Thanks to Larry, we had a discussion that prompted another discussion with Devin and Roger this evening, and we talked about doing repurposed computers for the public. And after a conversation with Roger, we've made the decision that that would probably be best to move in that decision for a cost savings of $7,992. Currently, Virginia Public Library works with Roger, and they use repurposed computers for their public, and they've had success with that. So I feel comfortable doing that, looking at the cost savings of $8,000. So the current ask is that we would move forward with the revised quote at $17,834. $15,000 has been budgeted for these computers, and then we would like to supplement the additional $2,834 out of the library savings account.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Any questions on that?
If there are any questions, I'd look for a motion and support to approve the purchase agreement with Rogers Online Corporation.
Motion.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you, April. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, quick question about computers, as far as like our staff, how is our computers in the city in general, do we know? Like,
How old?
how old are they?
Old. We're looking at that. I think for staff, we are going to continue to buy new computers, just because they tend to get old within 3 to 5 years. And then that's one of the capital improvements that we're looking at, along with Roger.
Sure.
So I know, Jim Fouquet and Tiffany and I had a discussion about that, as recently as yesterday, so.
Okay, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Interim Administrator, Clerk Treasurer, Devin.
Page 40 is a resolution to appoint election officials and judges for the 2026 primary and general elections. And we just are looking for your approval of that resolution.
All right, council, I'd look for a motion and support for resolution 026-51.
Motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, on page 42 is a resolution declaring the city's official intent to issue tax exempt obligations. For the Public Works facility, we were planning on issuing debt, and this is the first step in doing so that we can issue bonds tax exempt. This is not a resolution issuing this debt, it's just the first step in doing so.
Okay. Council, unless there's any questions, I'd look for a motion support for resolution 026-52.
Make the motion.
Thank you, April.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Then, downstairs office space, we have vacated space. The office space that Lost 40 had previously rented, and AUA Head Start was looking for a place, so we basically came to an agreement similar to the fair that's downstairs, and put it together. So attached to the agreement, and we're just looking for approval to enter into that agreement with AUA.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Appreciate that. You having the AUA right here in City Hall, I know it's gonna be a good thing. It brings in people to the community, so a little more busier down here, so if there's any questions for Devin, I'd look for a motion and support to enter into an agreement with AUA for the lease of the office space.
Motion.
Thank you, April.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, one question.
Yep.
Do we know what the utilities are down there? Like an average per month by chance?
They are likely part of the utilities here at City Hall, so I wouldn't be able to break it out. The back portion is separate, but since that's the office space, it would be tied in with City Hall here.
Okay.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Council, unless you have anything under miscellaneous, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
I got one thing, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I've had a discussion with some citizens about the geese in our city, and we put playing phone tag with the DNR, back and forth, the lady from Tower. She finally got hold of me this week, we talked, she would like to come speak to the council and give us options. And like basically the first step would be creating a goose task force with some citizens in town. So, would this be appropriate to ask to do it for a working session after our next council meeting in July? She's available then too, so.
Yeah. Can we add that right now?
Yep.
Would council be open to having a working session after our July 8th meeting?
Yeah, I think Larry's taken many steps
Yeah,
over the
he has.
years,
Yep.
and he should elaborate on those.
Sure.
Now and at the meeting, but,
Yeah. I mentioned it would be a short meeting. I know that we've talked before, you know, the DNR, you know, before you go to, I don't know what the correct word is, to not hunt, but, you know, utilize the meat from them. You know, there's certain steps you have to take. You know, first they want to see some engineering controls. You know, maybe don't cut the grass as short because it's not as easy for them to feed. You know, put the lights out, something that we did. You know, get rid of the grass, put out rocks. You know, so I think we've done a number of steps that we can actually.
Lots of things, yeah, we've done lots of things in 8 years that I've been here, and we've made great improvements. You know, when I first started, we'd heard stories of children getting attacked, women, you know, walking the kids and being attacked, people's dogs being attacked, you know. So we've done numerous things, and you're right, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of knowledgeable people that own resorts, higher-end golf courses, you know, that have more of a problem, airports. So there's a lot of things out there that you can do. And I would, I welcome bringing in any expert we can and just sharing the information and the knowledge that these other people have. And at the end of the day, they are a meat bird, you know, they're a migrating, you know, hunted bird, and they're a mating pair for life. So generally speaking, you get rid of one, you get rid of the families and the future families, but, you know, we all share the space and the roads and the lakes, and so it's definitely a difficult subject by many. You know, everyone on the council would have shared different opinions for sure. So I welcome it. I know way too much about geese than I ever wanted to know, and my hands are tied with where I'm at. But we've done great things. The number of geese within the city is greatly reduced from where it used to be, and the blinking lights are a great testament to that. It took 3 years minimum for them to make an impact. But basically what happens now is mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and aunt and uncle geese are here, and the kids leave because they get annoyed by the lights. And those geese are some of the geese that never leave. They go to a power plant, they go to a dike that has water year round. They never even leave here, but they've gotten smart and they avoid the lights. And it's the geese that haven't found their spot yet that migrate and they leave. So we have way less geese than we ever had, and you are always going to have what we have left unless you take other steps. So
But I think, you know, on top of that,
knowledge is key.
your hands are tied, you know, as far as what we can do. But if the DNR came and helped us institute a task force, 'cause when I talked to the DNR, the next step was kind of oiling the eggs.
Yep,
And then you prevent them,
exactly.
but, you know, we don't need our city employees out there oiling goose eggs. But they do become a nuisance, and I say it, you know, when people stop for
Yeah,
them
you
and they
basically
cross the
disturb
road,
eggs so they can't hatch.
they, you know, they hinder traffic, and they kind of get used to it. You come across the causeway on an ambulance on your way to an emergency call, you know, the last thing you want is backed up traffic because of geese. You know, now,
So many.
we do share the space, right? They were here first, we were here to coexist, but, right. Council, would you be okay with having a working session to follow our meeting next week? Brian, whenever we set a working session, can we just schedule it for after, or do we have to actually set a time?
No, you can set it for after. In fact, in some places, what they'll do is say our meeting starts at 5:30. They'll set the working session at 5:31 or 5:35.
And we just start it when it
But
happens.
yeah, I mean, setting it at 6 o'clock and just the understanding that it will follow immediately after the regular meeting is fine.
Okay. And council, I would look for, or entertain a motion and support to schedule a working session for 6 PM, July 8th, with the DNR.
We make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
I'll support it, but I kinda like the 5:31 idea better.
I think we can tie it up for half an hour. Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Does anyone else have anything over miscellaneous?
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you. Right,
I saw
Council?
the AMS director showed up.
And that's one thing I forgot when I did mention, that we covered a couple back-to-back mutual aid calls in Hibbing. That's where they were
Does
again.
she have anything to report to us?
Would you like to give a report? Do you have anything to report?
The only thing I have is.
At the
I have
podium,
just
please.
slated report. It's not geese, although I definitely saw backed up traffic today in front of the public safety building, and I did giggle a little bit because it was to see family geese go by. But, so we do have super exciting thing, you've been on this a little bit, our new ambulance is slated for delivery on Monday. It will not be in service on Monday, it still has a lot of things that need to be done to it, it's going to need, the radio switched out, the power load that you guys approved needs to get installed, so it's gonna be a couple months before it's taking calls. But as of Monday, you're gonna start seeing an extra ambulance out of the public safety building. There's not really room for it inside, so we're gonna have to get a little bit creative. But, we do have the new ambulance coming, which is exciting. Calls have been up, as you can see, I was on a call, that's why I'm late, thank you for, the grace there. But, yeah, summer is in full swing, and I hope everybody enjoys it and stays safe. Any questions?
So will they install that stuff in Chisholm, or does it have to leave to be installed?
The decals right now, it'll be going to Duluth. That was the closest place with all the things we were looking for. The power load, the tech will come out from Stryker and he will install the new one when it arrives, and then he'll actually take the old one out of the ambulance too. And then for the radio swaps, we may be able to do the majority of that in-house. We also have to move the computer from ambulance 2 into the new medic 2. Normally we're able to handle that mostly in-house, or we have a tech come and do it for us.
Okay.
So, yep.
All right.
And then we have to switch some numbers and stuff and things with Medicare and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Even if it looks ready, Medicare might be tying our hands until we can put it in service, but it will be soon.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yes.
When
Thank you.
does the decals go on it? Any idea?
Well,
I'm just curious
I
'cause
don't
of
wanna tell you
parade.
that, cause right now they're saying late July.
Okay.
But with the intent of working us in, because they are so close,
Yeah.
working us in as soon as they can.
I was just curious because of the parade, that's all.
Yeah,
It'd be
I
cool to
would-
have it in the parade.
That is definitely a goal of mine, to have the 2 new rigs in the parade, for sure. And then the 1 old rig will be there too.
Very good.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, council, I look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Have a good night.
I'm starting to get a collection under here.
Good meeting, Mayor.
Oh, that's where they all.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's my secret.
Stop right?
These are good pens.